Coffee is not helpful.
It's a matter of opinion.
Coffee, even though it's past 2 p.m. already. I will share out. Should I share out those two documents again, or do you all have them open?
Go ahead.
I mean, do I need to paste the links in the chat is really what I'm asking. No?
No.
Okay, cool. In that case, let me share the plan again. Okay, so we took our break and we're going to priorities list and timeline. So the first thing is that obviously there are a number of meetings. We can try to schedule them now, or I can just send out a bunch of doodle polls. I'm happy either way. Any thoughts on this? So maybe it'd be better if I just do doodle polls, I think.
Probably not a bad idea.
Okay.
Of all the people here, my schedule was the most restrictive, most likely.
I can see that.
Or insane, that would be a different word for restrictive.
That makes sense.
In the past, I'll share my experience. I got some key members availabilities, and usually team will only have maybe 3 or 4 slots in a week. So I will start from there.
Okay, that makes sense.
As well.
So I think the main thing to decide is how far in advance we want that dry run to be, and roughly by when we want kind of most of everything, most of our materials together and things like that. I think those are the main 2 things that we should have a sense of. We are, if I'm not mistaken, 4 weeks out from the TLI. So
I would say the dry run within the week, anytime with the week before the TLI. So the TLI is on a Saturday, anytime in there would probably work okay. You're not going to get everybody there. I think that you'll be doing quite well to get, you won't probably get most of the speakers, is my guess. Yeah. If you can get, you're going to get what you get. That's my experience.
I buy that.
And as long as you've done a good job of briefing your moderators, I think that will really be helpful. And I want to be at that meeting, as we've discussed.
For sure.
No problem.
Just to make sure, I thought you were briefing the moderators. Am I wrong
will,
about that?
yeah.
Okay.
No,
then
no.
I should make sure I'm there.
Yeah,
okay.
that too.
Okay. Alrighty. So
I got a recommendation. You don't need necessarily to restrict yourself to have only one dry run. You can have a dry run for the speakers. You can have a technical dry run. So it doesn't hurt if you have multiple ones. If people are available, of course.
Well, yes, that is true. But and most likely I will not be. If you have multiple dry runs, I won't be able to be at all of them. What I would also suggest, in the same thing, Alan, what is your, since you've already completed this, what is your perspective on some of the things that we have here? I like the way Anat's looking at this, but I also realize that, with the moderators, we need to brief them that not everybody's going to be able to attend all these meetings.
for sure.
And I don't know if we want to record some of that. I think the moderator briefing, the moderators have to be there. And we can talk about that or not. And if we need to have some backups in place, 2 or 3 extras, we'll figure that out.
Okay, that makes sense.
One
So,
thing
yeah.
I like is that one of the moderators, Jenin, was very proactive, and she reached out to the speaker herself, and then have their own individual connections and understanding. They communicated ahead of time to understand exactly what the speaker wants. And Mark, the texture, was also in the meeting. I think that was very effective. But that's, of
Yes.
course, it's not a group thing. It's a one-off.
Yes, that's actually something we want to impress upon this TLI's moderators, is to
Yep.
do that prep, because that's a big deal, and it's going to help ensure that the session that they're moderating runs smoothly.
Great point. And realize that we basically, the TLI chair and I know all the speakers, so we're going to try and match people up. The two most important ones from my perspective is we have two past district leaders, that one is from another district and one pretty much is in another district most of the time, as well as someone who is not a Toastmaster. It's very important that we make sure they all have a positive experience with their moderator. And so I want to be extra special care in those three cases.
That makes sense. So what we will do is, I think what we'll do is we'll ensure that the people they are paired with really know what they're doing and can sort of be a face for Toastmasters or be a face for our district in the case of the ones who aren't from our district. Okay. So for our priorities list, my thinking on this, and we don't have to do this if you think this is a bad idea, but my thinking on this was to essentially set up a document with our, task, how important it is, how urgent it is. Any,
Okay.
What's the status, any notes, things like that. I've forgotten how to freeze a row. Here we go. So we don't have to do all of this now, but I think if all of us can contribute to this, it'll help keep track of what's missing, what needs to get done by when. Is anyone against doing it this way? Because I think that will, I don't know, that would also keep us going. You go, okay, what have I forgotten to do? Right?
Sure.
Yeah. And of course, it also means that if I go in and I see something's not there, I can reach out to you and say, what do you need from me to help make this happen? If that makes sense. Any thoughts? Okay, good. Yay. All right. So
I'm just thinking about just adding like one section here so that we know which category this goes into, like training, speech, but we can, as we fill this out, there could be something else. Yeah, exactly. I like the idea because from the last time we did this, we were kind of looking at where the slides correct. Do we have the pictures? Every little piece we could start tracking on this just to make sure that we're catching everything. So I like the idea.
Okay, awesome. All right. So I'm going to give you all access to this because that's what I need, right? Oh my gosh. It just did the thing I don't want it to do, which is it's not letting me click on things.
Murphy's Law.
Murphy's
What I
Law.
would do, Anat, is let's make a folder with all these documents in it and
Yes.
share the folder. for
That's
all of
actually
us.
my plan. All of these are in a folder and I'm gonna be sharing that folder out. But in the meanwhile,
Got it.
I need to share this all. Oops. What was it? Okay. Oh, now you can see everyone I know. And Jacob. Awesome.
Hit share.
Fantastic. Okay. So major categories are things like club officer training. I don't know why this was all caps. What are our categories? Like speaker sessions.
Yeah.
What are the other things?
Yeah, I was thinking it sounds like like even each section, like the moderators, even every tab. Well, I don't know if those are specifically tasks, but like the slides, the audio.
Right. So that would be here,
Okay. Okay.
if that makes sense.
Yep.
Club off speaker sessions, COT trainers.
Yep.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah. This is going to be interesting.
Advertisements.
Wow. I don't know what you would call that. PR.
Yeah, I'll handle most of that. We haven't sent out a district email for a while. We'll be sending that out this week, which will be heavy emphasis on the TLI. So,
That includes the registration too, right, Tim?
yeah, we've already got the registration up, which is on Eventbrite. And there's a page on D4TM as well.
You mentioned welcome remarks might be a little bit different. Would that be its own section? The welcome remarks?
that sounds
Welcome.
like programming, I guess.
Yeah, 2-minute video by the district director is my guess, but we'll see.
Okay.
Okay, this is a lot of categories, but
Wow.
I'm suggesting that people actually input their own list of tasks based on their roles and responsibilities. Because even though I'd like to get through some here, maybe the critical ones, I don't think that this is like a good use of our time.
No.
I mean, I think this is a good document to work from. I don't think this is like something we should be doing right here in the next 4 minutes.
Yeah.
All right. Any critical ones that we need to talk about right now from anyone on the past team? This is good news. All righty.
Okay, I'll chime in really quickly.
Yes.
If you have the programming nailed down, and I believe you do, then start doing, I would actually start immediately doing the stuff that would naturally be done at the last minute. Like start
The script.
creating the slides, the slides if you're going to use music, what
Yep.
music you're going to use, what,
Oops,
yeah, that sort of thing.
that makes sense.
Developing the script or using your script and modifying it as needed. We can also get you the protocol list, which is, you know, what we had. I think the tech chairs, didn't we have tech chairs do that, or did I'm trying to remember.
we actually fought over it. No,
Okay.
that needs to be done right. The protocol list needs to be done right at the end so that we know who's attending and who's not. The most
Right.
recent,
Right at the end of what?
like day before.
Well,
Day before the event,
no,
so that-
I got you. What I'm saying is, when are you going to? You're going to read that off pretty quick in the beginning.
Oh yeah, you're talking about with respect to when in the
Run
script.
and show, yeah.
That's right. That I'm not chiming in on that. I was talking about logistically when time-wise to get it done before the event. Sorry.
So these are just examples of things that I heard just now, right? So like a run of show document, we need to start doing it, all that stuff.
So when I was doing speeches about TLI, I often refer to the energy of a wedding planner. You need to do a lot of planning things for the ceremony, and then you need to have a minute by minute rundown.
Mhm.
Things are doing that way. That's
Yeah,
my opinion.
that is kind of the idea behind the run of show document. Yeah. Okay. Any suggestions for me in terms of like stuff that I haven't covered or stuff that I need to be cognizant of as a TLI chair that I really need to know now?
I would say relax and enjoy. And
Say
get help.
again, sit back and enjoy. Okay.
Relax and enjoy and get help.
All right. And any questions for me about anything that was covered this meeting, or maybe you're feeling overwhelmed, or is there something that you have a burning question about?
Not really quickly. So the last TLI, I saved a lot of the emails from all the conversations that we had. So I have folders with all of the handouts, right, for all of the sections of the trainings and the scripts for the moderator, for every speaker, the person who's going to introduce the speaker, right? Maybe we can put all those into the folder so that we can have one
Absolutely.
central location. And
Absolutely.
Alan shared with you, as well as Mark shared with you, all of those scripts that we used last time, so that maybe you're not retyping some of these things and maybe just editing what we used last time?
I have access to a folder that has a lot of things, but I don't know if it has everything.
Okay.
I will definitely reach out to, is it Ellen and Mark?
Alan, Mark, and I know Tim, I mean, everything that was shared last time, I'm just kind of, I created a folder too in my Gmail, and I'm just flipping through it right now. And there's like all the script documents are in there, the templates, all of the handouts are in there. So
For
it was
sure.
just, that was the one thing that I didn't like last time. I was going through my emails looking for all these things. But if we have it in one folder, I mean, it'd be useful for all of us to just go there and look for the script, look for the slides, look for the pictures, look for anything we need. It's there.
Yeah, let me
Wait,
share
handout.
the folder
go
right
ahead.
now. I'll start, I'm gonna, all those 3 documents that we just went through today are sitting in that folder. I will share that
Yep.
folder out right now, and then we will add anything in there and we'll organize it appropriately. Does that work?
Yes. One question, Jacob. When you say documents, did you have the club officer training documents in there?
Yeah, exactly.
So we've modified those. So we've modified the VPM one. Don't upload those documents. I'll send those over to Anat.
Okay, excellent.
Okay,
And
that
now,
sounds
if you want
good.
me to, if you want me to share any of these, I'm sure you'll get them from everybody else. But again, just looking at my emails, the scripts are in here. They're all coming from the folks on this meeting, so I'm sure they'll share it with you.
The one person I'm not sure, so Mark and Ellen, do you want to be included on this folder share?
I mean,
Like, is
sure.
it gonna bother you if,
No.
okay.
Nope.
Not at all.
Okay. Good, so,
Welcome to bother us.
Yeah, please do bother us. So keep in mind that we're here for this meeting, but we actually have limited responsibilities going forward after this.
exactly,
So-
that's why I'm
So the
asking.
point is, Katie, Jacob, do not hesitate to reach out if you've got questions, anything that, you know, I mean, I trust Jacob implicitly to, you know,
Thank
to
you.
do it. But know that we are here, even though we're not going to be necessarily in the meetings. And if there's something that you're missing, like for example, I think I gave a generic document to all the moderators to use as an introduction to say this, and then say whatever you agreed upon with your speaker, how you're going to introduce him or her.
Yeah.
So if Jacob has it, Jacob, yeah, share it there. If there's something that you're like, gosh, they must have tackled this somehow, don't hesitate to ask.
I'll send it
Okay.
over to you and not so you have it. And it's exactly, it literally is the TLI moderator script. It's by the minute and it's just really well written out and you could edit it. But this is just, again, what you could potentially say. So we had something written like this for every moderator and every speaker, just in case, right? If somebody doesn't show up or their computer crashes and the moderator's gone, the tech chair knows to step in and what to read, right? In case, because otherwise,
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
why this script was super helpful, and I think for me it made me a lot made me feel more comfortable when the events happened, if because of that reason, like what if something happened to the moderator.
Right. So for anyone who doesn't know, during the session that Jacob was the tech chair for, what happened is that the moderator for one of the sessions showed up like very, a lot later than we were expecting. And we didn't know if they would show up. And so we had the script ready in case one of us needed to read it.
Yeah, we weren't able to get in contact with them, if I believe, right? We were trying to be like, hey, you
Right.
have everything?
Trying
Do
to
you need
reach them.
anything? And they weren't responding. We're like, well, I guess we're going to prepare to be the moderator.
Yeah. So
I just emailed to you.
So that kind of stuff will happen. And, I've shared out the link to the folder. It's going to start getting filled with stuff, and I will do my best to keep it organized, etc. And of course, you can add whatever you need into there to make everything work for you.
And like everyone else has said, don't hesitate to call me either. If we need to talk about something, I'm good. I will make the time because it's important to me that we do well by all of you as well as we do by our members who are attending the training.
So I just started a team contact information document. You can all put our info there, as long as you're comfortable with that. With it sitting on a Google Drive, a Google Sheet. So
Google knows everything about me, sadly. Amazon worse. They know what I'm shopping for.
they also know when you're on the fence about buying something, and then they'll send you an email right at the right moment to push you over the edge. Yeah.
Well, I didn't have an Amazon package one time, and they knocked on the door to see if I was still okay. Alan's got a question.
Sweet. Yes, Alan.
I got a comment that are you planning to recruit a assistant TRI chair just to shadow you so that we can prepare for the future ones? I think that was one of the suggestions from Tim.
I see. That's a good idea. Alternatively, that's actually a really good idea.
Yeah, I just repeat it. I just said it for him.
Honestly, I would like to do that at some point.
Done.
Just saying. It looks like a really tough job, but not you're doing it. I've seen Alan, you've done it. And I would love to challenge the heck out of myself and try to do what you're doing.
And actually, often it actually might be a good idea for it to be someone who was on the team already before.
I agree. So they kind of have a feel for it.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
That's probably how Anat was recruited.
I have a feeling that that's what happened.
One would be Katie, right? Katie would be.
Yeah. We'll have
Look out,
a celebrity death match, okay?
Mark, you're going to be a speaker next time, right?
That's up to Tim, program quality.
All righty. I'm just saying, I can see it happening.
Parliamentary procedure, somebody to make it fun.
Oh boy. I can't do that.
I'll get back to you on that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, I want to respect people's time. You're free to stay on. I'm happy to chat with anyone who wants to, but the meeting is officially over.
I'll stop recording and then we